What's up, America? It's your girl bringing you some news you can use. And boy, I got some news for you guys. We are live at the number one internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeart radio station. You can download the iHeart app and it's free. I know y'all like free, so it's free. Go and download the iHeart Radio app. It takes less than 30 seconds. You can listen to over 60 shows and check us out 7 days a week. Or you can go to IntellectualRadio.com. We're also streaming on several social media outlets. Today, you're going to position yourself to prosper. I always talk about entrepreneurship, reading about entrepreneurship, following entrepreneurs, 7 streams of income. I picked up another stream of income because of my partner, and I have to tell you guys about that. And thank you guys who listened to the show the last 2 weeks when I had my little bottle sitting right here. And I only spoke briefly about it, but you guys that inboxed me and asked me about it and how can you try it, thanks to you guys, I've sold 21 cases of Shrink Yummy Tummy water. My whole refrigerator is full of Yummy Tummy water. So I want to just say thank you guys. I didn't know it was going to go this way, but I've lost actually a total of 26 pounds. And now I'm working on toning. So I'm looking for me a personal trainer. And I think I found a celebrity personal trainer. But in this intellectual dialogue hour, we're going to be sharing information, giving introspection, and providing inspiration. So you know how we do. We have one show, 2 hot topics. So the first topic we're going to talk about today is budget when you don't have enough money. So what do you do to budget to stretch that money? Women, I know we are just phenomenal at that. We can have $100. We can pay 5 bills, get our hair done, nails done, and buy food for the house. It's just that's just how we roll. That's how we were created. That's how we were raised. So I want to find out from you, what do you do to budget when you just don't have enough money? And at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about questions that you can ask yourself before you start a business. And I need help on that because I just started this Shrink Your Tummy water and it's just taken off and I'm trying to control it. So what questions do you feel are imperative that someone should ask themselves before they start a business? I would love to hear your thoughts. And before we go to break, Cleo's going to give you the number to call in. And then to my left, we have a special guest that's guest co-hosting this week. And when we come back, she's going to introduce herself and she'll give you a little bit about what she does. So we are live, IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeart radio station. And we have another guest here. He's in the building. He was here 2 weeks ago, and I'm sure you guys will see who that is when we come back. IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart radio station. Don't go anywhere. And don't forget, moment.
Hi, my name is Tina Olivia Pate. Listen to Making Waves with Miss Darci on IR and iHeart radio station, Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We love you, Miss Darci.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and I enjoy listening to IntellectualRadio.com and Making Waves with Miss Darci.
It's a new year and the first anniversary of our revolutionary acne treatment. To celebrate, we have an amazing new offer for you. Order Proactive Plus, and for a special limited time, you'll pay just $19.95. Imagine yourself with skin so clear and beautiful, you feel confident to go after all the things you want. Make it happen today with Proactive Plus.
That's a huge difference. Look at that. Proactive Plus makes me feel amazingly beautiful.
Proactive Plus is dermatologist developed to help seek out and fix problem areas on your skin. And it's proven to work 4 times faster than the leading prescription.
This product is doing it. I started seeing results with Proactive Plus within the first week.
Now's the best time ever to order because we're offering extra savings to first-time customers. Call 1-800-773-5681 to get our 3-step system plus free gifts and free shipping, all just $19.95.
I use Proactive Plus every day. Like, I literally use this stuff.
Into Making Waves with Miss Darci. We broadcast here live every Tuesday and Thursday, starting at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. And I am your on-air host, Miss Darci D.
I'm the intern, Khalil Scott.
Bernard Williams, intellectual capacitypreneur.
And our special guest.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lakita Montague, and I'm so happy to be here today.
Now get off the hook that fast, Lakita. Okay, tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Do share I really have to share?
Oh, yeah, you got to share. Inquiring minds want to know.
Let's see here. So I think my background, I'll just share with you that I'm a consultant in project management for the pharmaceutical company.
Oh, pharmaceutical.
Yeah, I've been in the industry for 20 plus years.
Oh, wow.
And I'm originally from Huntsville, Alabama. Just recently moved to Chicagoland area 2 years ago.
Okay, well.
Mother of two, highly active in the community, and just trying to find my way around and get integrated into the community here.
Between Chicago, since you've been here for 2 years, versus Alabama, that's a huge difference.
Yes, it is a huge difference, but I do think that it's not a difference based on how slow versus how fast the city is. I think it really is. There's so many different people, so many different things to do. The challenge has been finding the right fit for me, finding the right friends, finding the right organizations, because there's just so many things to do and so many choices.
Totally different from Alabama, right?
Totally different. So in Alabama, of course, you basically do things based on your family and friends and your grandma and your granddaddy and your grandma's cousin, who's doing what, and you kind of fall in line that way. And here I've just had to find my way by searching out things that are my interests and hoping to connect with people so that I can get in the right position. Because when I moved here, I only knew one person.
That was my next question. So, because you're saying your family, your friends, so Alabama is your home.
Yes, everybody is there.
Wow.
Everybody. And when I moved here, I was taking a chance. I was taking a risk to start fresh, do something new. And I only had one friend, and one friend from 6th grade. So I've had her as a friend since we were 12 years old. I hadn't talked to her in about 10 years. I called her up as I was driving up 65. I had no idea where I was going and where I was going to live.
Wait. So you just decided you did this? This wasn't planned? You didn't plan it?
I had 3 weeks planning before I packed my car with as few things as I could and hit the road.
Out of all the states, what made you pick Illinois?
And I said, okay, I'll come.
Wow.
So since I do drug consulting, I had a call from a recruiter to say, hey, there's a job in Chicago for 3 months. We need you up here in 3 weeks. Are you willing to take the job? And at the time, I was working my business in Alabama, but I was mainly doing a lot of community social activism work. So I wasn't that busy, marching for education and going to school board meetings. That's how I filled up my calendar. So I was busy, but not so busy in a way that I was making any money. So when I got the call to say, hey, there's viable work in Chicago, get up here in 3 weeks, I just started packing my car and I put gas in the car and filled it up and started driving.
That is amazing.
That's what I did. And I've been here ever since. So I started with a 3-month contract. And after the 3-month contract was over, I extended it 6 months. Then I got a new contract with a different company for a year. Then I got a new contract with another company for another year. And Here I am.
Look at God. That is amazing. You had to think back to when that 2 years ago and you were in Alabama. If you had to do it all over again, would you?
Absolutely.
Good for you.
Absolutely.
Good for you. Wow. And she's here. Co-host, my goodness, you're on a roll. That's good. That's good. Congratulations. So we're going to talk about, I always do my nosy news, but I'm not going to share any. We have so much news in Chicago. It's too much. We gonna dissect. We're not gonna do any news today, but we're gonna take a look back on at the things we do and who we are. So you guys tell me if you think it's true or false, if you agree with it. 3% of us believe in astrology, but only 1/3 of us will tell us that they do. So 33% of us believe in astrology, but only 1/3 will say that they do. So do you agree or disagree? We'll start with Bernard.
I would agree with that, 33%.
30%?
That seems to be a reasonable sound number for that particular question. I would agree with that.
Khalil?
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not too big into astrology, but I know there's a lot of people who are.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. 33% believe in astrology, but only a third will they actually like admit that they do. But 33%. Okay. The next one is 27% of women say they feel the most confident when they put on red lipstick.
I think it's a little higher than that.
27%.
I would say it's higher than that.
Think it's higher than that? What do you think, Lakita?
I would think higher too, because red lipsticks and red shoes. I mean, that really
you gotta get the red purse.
I know. Everything red makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah. What do you think, Khalil?
Yeah, I think it will be higher because red is probably one of the colors that stand out the most when you see a person.
So that's false. 88% of women. 88. That's a lot.
Yeah, I can believe it. I can believe it.
Wow. 88%.
Red is a power move.
I need to go get me some red lipsticks when I leave here today.
We need to just start handing it out.
They're right. Just red lipstick for everyone.
For
you
everybody.
Get a red lipstick. You get everybody gets red lipstick. The next one. Now I know I ain't agreeing with this one because I'm not a pet lover. 22% of us let our pets sleep in bed with us. True or false, Bernard?
I would say for those who are pet lovers, it's higher than that.
Okay. So then your answer would be false. Because 22%. Khalil?
I say true. With my dog, she know better. She not getting in the
Khalil says she know better.
And she know that.
Would she try? Would she try?
She'll try, but she know to stay at the edge of that bed.
Bernard, you have pets?
Bed. I do not.
Okay.
Us. What is the actual demographic? When you say us, you mean everybody, right? Everybody. Black people.
Yeah. Caucasian, Mexican, Puerto Rican, everybody.
Okay, so we consider everybody.
22%.
I think it's higher.
You think so? You say false.
Yeah.
It's actually 51%. Ain't no dog, no cat. They not getting to bed with no hamster, no rabbit. My grandbaby got a dog, and it stays at her other grandma's house, and she be like, "Grandma, I just don't understand why. Come on, I can't just bring it over here." Don't worry about it. He not coming to my house, or she not coming. She not coming to my house. I love you, princess, but you can't come to my house.
That's your great grandbaby.
Girl, they have all dressed up. She have ribbons on. They get her nails done. I'd be like, hey. My father had dogs, and I wasn't fond of them. When I think I was 4.5 or 5 going to pre-kindergarten. They knocked me down and scratched up my leg, and I ain't want to be near dogs since.
Wow.
If I'm at a restaurant, we sitting out on the patio, and the people coming down the street, and they got a dog, he can be on 4 leases. I'm getting up from that chair until they go past. I'm walking down the street, they say, "Come on past, baby. He not going to bite." I'm on the other side of the street. I'm on top of Earl's truck or something, because it ain't going to happen. I need to get over that. You know how you have a fear or something? I don't know if I ever get over it, but so that's 51%. Okay. 51% let the animals get in the bed with them. They got hair and stuff.
Yes, I can believe it.
20% of married men admit they forgotten their anniversary at least twice. 10% for women. I know women ain't forgetting it because everything is a date for us. Khalil, 20%.
I think that'd be false because I don't think there's a man out there who will really forget their anniversary because you're going to have to feel the wrath when that day comes.
So you don't think no man will forget their anniversary? I know some men that forget. You ever watch, the Huxtables? Claire always asking Cliff something. He can't remember. She just put him in a headlock. But sometimes men don't know the month. It's the specifics. We know when it happened. We know the time. They ain't trying to get all that. But you're right. They will be in the lockup if they can't remember their anniversary. Bernard?
I would say that's true. There are men who forget. I think that 20% is a little low, though.
So then you say false. Then you think it would be a little bit higher.
I think the number may be a little higher.
Okay, Lakita.
I can't get over the 10% of women.
10%
of women forgetting.
I don't know who they are because I don't forget nothing. I have it wrote down in my phone, and I'm waiting for somebody to say that ain't it. What?
Yeah, that's just hard to believe. So I'm gonna say false,
false?
Based on the 10%.
What you think, super producer? It's 70% of married men admit that they have forgotten, and it's 30% of women.
30%.
I don't know who they are, why they don't remember. Because every woman I know, she remember the date and waiting on the man to forget the date. Because then it's like, what? You don't remember that most important day?
They must not be selecting their gifts right, because 30%, like.
Or what kind of gifts I like? Extravagant. Last one. This is funny. I like this one. 14% of men admit they've never installed a new roll of bathroom tissue on the tissue holder ever. 14% of men admit they've never put the tissue on the tissue holder.
14% they never installed.
What do you think, Lakita?
You know what? I believe that's true, because I think men just sit the toilet paper roll on the back of the commode
and leave the toilet seat up.
Yes, they just sit it anywhere. They sit it on the counter next to the sink. Mm-hmm. They may sit it on the floor.
Right, they don't care. They just sit it down somewhere.
They put it anywhere but where it's supposed to go.
Khalil?
So I agree.
That would probably be false, because I know when I see it, if it needs tissue, then I just go to the closet and just put it there.
Oh, you are first. Let me ring the bell. Khalil said he'll put some on there with no problem. All right. Bernard?
Wow. I think that number is low. I think the number should be higher.
So you say false. Have you done it?
What I do. So.
Okay. All right. You hear that, Lakita? Super producer, I know he ain't put no tissue on the roll. On the holder? See what I'm talking about? That means he ain't did it. But you see what I'm talking about? He's like, whatever. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I could tell by the long delay before he answered. It was such a long delay.
Yeah, that means he ain't doing it. Oh, it's 37% of men.
Wow.
That has said they've never done it. 37%?
I hate to admit that one, yeah.
And you said it would be higher than you, Bernard. See, he said it would be higher. Wow. Well, that's it. My deep thought for today is better to be poor than to be rich. The rich always have to fear becoming poor, but the poor never have to fear becoming rich. I don't agree with that, because I think the latter part, you all agree with that statement? It's better to be poor than to be rich. The rich always have to fear becoming poor, but the poor never have to fear becoming rich. Yeah. Something to think about. What do you think about that, Khalil? You agree with that?
Yeah, like I said last week and the week before, money doesn't always equal happiness. Sometimes your happiness is, you can be happy with the situation that you're in right now. You don't have a lot of money.
That's true. That's true. What do you think about that, Lakita?
I don't know. The first part of the quote, it's better to be poor. No, I like the luxuries of not being poor, like eating.
Right, lights on,
some heat, a nice car to drive. Well, one that actually runs. You know,
got some gas in it.
Yeah, some dessert every now and then, chocolate cake. I mean, if you're poor, you can't like get all these extra things.
Right. So you're just barely making it.
Better to be poor. Better. I don't know.
And then it says the rich always have to fear becoming poor. Now, I don't know if they would have to fear that if they became rich. Depends on if they inherited or they did it on their own as an entrepreneur. Then hopefully they would have enough sense to not get to a poor state where they don't have anything. I know some people that win the lottery. They don't buy a car, they don't buy houses. I don't really know what they do, but within 2 years they're broke and they're looking for a job. I just think that's to have that, get one lump sum of money and not know what to do with it. And then you're somewhere paying rent. You should have made sure you had a house.
Right.
At least.
Right.
What do you think about that statement, Bernard?
Well, Psalms 112 says that wealth and riches shall be in my house.
So, wait, hold on. What does it say?
Wealth and riches shall be in my house. And so I think that we always need to encourage individuals that the Lord gives us power to get wealth. And so economics, and we're having this challenge right now in our ethnic community, that we need economics to be able to move forward and to create a legacy and to build wealth creation for future generations, for our posterity. And so whether you're poor or rich, you still have challenges. And so I just give me the money.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, would you rather be rich or poor? I mean, rich or wealthy?
Wealthy.
No.
Wealthy.
Yeah. Earl? I knew it. See, I knew he was gonna say that. I just want him to be different because I would want to be wealthy than to be rich. Okay. So if today is your birthday and you celebrate, and because it's your birthday on this very special day, be sure to celebrate in every special way. Because it's your birthday, be sure to wish upon a star and think of all of us who know how wonderful you are. Happy birthday to you and anybody else who's celebrating birthdays or anniversaries. Hope that you get everything that you want and then some. So now we're going to talk about budgeting with no money. Now, what's the first thing you think about when you hear someone say budget? So would that mean they have the money, they don't know how to budget it? Let's say you lose your job, you get sick, your husband loses his job, or you're going through a divorce. You have all these life-altering situations, and followed by that becomes emotional and financial complications. That means you was always paying your bills on time, everything was okay, you wasn't rich, but you wasn't poor. But now all of a sudden, this transformation or this life-altering for you, which is, they said, about 25 million Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That's a lot of people.
Oh, I believe it.
So when someone says, how do I budget when I don't have enough money? What's the first thing come to your mind, Khalil?
One of the first things that come to my mind would be my dad, because my dad, he's really cheap, but he knows how to budget his money. I've seen him stretch $10 into 3 weeks because he just doesn't go out and buy anything.
Frugal like me, Khalil. We're frugal.
No, my dad's cheap.
He's cheap.
He's
it's
really
a difference
cheap.
between cheap and frugal.
Yeah, he's cheap.
He's cheap.
He's gonna go out and get the cheapest thing he could get.
But he gotta have some money in the bank.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think budgeting, there's two ways. Either you spend less or you make more. So you have to save some money on something, or you have to figure out how to get some money. And some of the ways is to look at opportunities in your community of things that you can do. So for example, instead of spending money on lunch, maybe you can find a free webinar or free seminar in your neighborhood that's actually giving you lunch to show up.
I like that.
So
I like
then you don't spend money on lunch. You go to one of these meetings and you eat their sandwiches and their chips and drink their water, and then you keep that money in your pocket as well as get something.
Like I said, you might even learn something along the way. And it's funny you should say that. We to this company called Concur. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. And for the last, I want to say 3 years, or maybe 3 years, they have lunch because they want you to buy into their products. So they have lunch twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year. And I've never been to Laurie's as many times as I've been there. My purse, because that's where we went to Laurie's downtown. We went to a lot of upscale restaurants. And it's funny you should say that, because tomorrow, lunch for free with Concur. I'm taking 3 girlfriends and we are going to eat, and hopefully we'll learn something again. But they invited us, and we will be having lunch from 11:30 to 1:30. We'll be at some restaurant in Oak Brook, but we will be there on the company. So you're right. They have a lot of webinars and social events that you can go to for a little or nothing, and then you take away. You can do networking, and you can do so many different things. It's a win-win for everybody. Bernard.
Yeah, I think of cash flow, and to Lakita's point, managing expenses. And so most often when we're looking at budgeting, we're not watching our cash flow, what's coming in and what's going out. And so when you're able to track everything and write down everything that's going out, you can sort of manage that a whole lot better. You can begin to then assess where your money's going and then scale back where necessary. And so cash flow is critical. And either, to your point, you minimize your expenses so that you can have a greater output and outflow of cash.
Okay, I liked all of it. And so let's dissect on how a person would do that if they have a budget, but they don't have enough money to meet the budget. So I have 5 tips, and we're going to talk about those. And if you would like to chime in on the conversation, or you have some suggestions or ideas on how to budget, Khalil will give you the number to call in to the studio.
708-8953. 708-223-8953.
So out of the 5 tips, the very first one, which I love, it says keep a positive mindset, which is the hardest one, but it's the most important one. They said negativity attacks you from every direction. The words you use, the words you speak. You're never going to get out of this mess. I'm never going to get out of debt. I'm never going to get a new car. I'm never going to find a good job. I'm never going to pay all these bills out. I'm never going to make this happen. I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to do this. To you, or you've been in that situation, and I know I have, but not with that many nevers, but to someone who situation where they're financially strapped. You know, they're working from job to job. They're a temporary agency, so if the job is not guaranteed, they maybe like you did, Lakita, where you came in with a 3-month assignment and then you end up finding another one. Let's say this person haven't got to that point. They got laid off in March and now it's June and they're trying to figure out how to make ends meet. They have children to take care of. And so if their mindset is saying, I'm never going to do it, I'm never going to do it, negative, 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 what would you say to a person that came to you with that type of mindset?
It's all about affirmations and saying what is going to happen to you in a good way. So even though you may not see the big picture, you don't know exactly how you're going to land, you can look at life like a spiral staircase up. You don't necessarily see the next step ahead, but you have to keep taking a step. Those steps take you in circles around and round and around. But if you keep pushing forward, you go up a notch and get closer and closer to your goal. And you get higher and higher than where you were before. So you can't just think that you're going to see the end. You have to take those steps when you don't know where things are going. That's what you call faith.
That's all right. I like that. Khalil?
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say, is that you have to have faith. Sometimes it's not meant, God hasn't meant for you to receive this automatically. Sometimes you got to go through things so that you know how to go through other things.
So I would agree. One of the things that I think about is your mind. And so how much energy then are you using thinking about the negative? That same amount of energy that you're using to think about that, you could be thinking about something positive. What can I do? A lot of times we cut ourselves short ourselves. We close our own door. Oh, I can't afford that. Well, no one said you couldn't afford that but you. You could, with that same energy, instead of saying, I can't afford that, ask the question. What that enables one to do is for their mind to then expand. That's intellectual capacity. It gives you the ability then to begin to see beyond your current circumstance. And I think that's what we must keep in perspective.
I like that. Oh, I like all of your answers. I hope you guys are taking notes. So the only thing that I would say to chime in on that is if you're able to stay positive, which I know you can, to me, it's a mindset. If you're able to stay positive and stay focused to get out of that situation, then reality will follow that positivity down whatever journey. And like Khalil said, is sometimes God puts things in front of us to make us go through that circle or to climb that. He's not going to just put it right there, roll out the red carpet for you. So sometimes you have to go through it and you be like, why me? But why not you? So it's taking you there because it's making you stronger. Because I know things that people would say to me or try to do to me 3 years ago, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. But now my reaction to them is more startling to them than the way I acted before. And I know that that's with faith and relying on God and being in so many different situations medically that my life is precious. So they're not going to take no time out of my life. They're not even worth it at some point. So we have to decide what's fight. Like if you want to be broke, pick your broke. You got to decide what works for you and what doesn't. The second one is, so stay positive, people. The second one is recognize that it's temporary. Number 2, you might be thinking 2 points. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen again. Faith without works is dead. You have to know that whatever you're going through is not going to last forever. I suffer from migraines, and I always say you can quit playing because I'm getting ready to go do this. I got an appointment. I have a consultation. You're not going to mess up my money. I'm talking to my brain, right? Because my head is hurting. But I'm saying, I'm going to take this pill and I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to take my shower. I'm going to this appointment. Now, you can come go with me or you can stay here. But I'm going to this appointment. I'm not going to lay up in the bed for another 7 to 8 hours. So sometimes you have to talk yourself out of a situation from a negative to a positive. So if you recognize that it's temporary, response to them, Bernard.
So scriptures always come to mind. It says, while we look not at the things that are seen, but the things that are unseen, for the things that we see are temporal, subject to change. And so we must recognize then that it is temporary. It is a moment in life. Challenges will come. The only thing that's constant is change. And so our approach then on how we address that is incumbent upon us. And so are you a victor or are you a victim? I believe you're a victor, so move forward.
I like that. Khalil?
Yeah, I will say always have a positive attitude. When talking about being temporary, I think of Michael Jordan. He was a guy who didn't make his high school team, and he's been quoted saying how many shots that he's missed over his career. But when you look at the bigger picture, people still see him as the greatest basketball player ever, and he got his last championship on one of the greatest shots we ever seen for the game winner over Utah.
Wow, I like that. I like that analogy. Lakita?
So the first thing that comes to my mind is I actually just discovered a few years ago, which was just because you get older doesn't mean that you get wiser all the time, that you don't have anything left to learn. And we all have seasons, no matter how old we are and what we've accomplished. And in order for us to learn and to be better, we have to have a challenge that we accomplish to get us to that next level, no matter how old we are. So I think with our finances, when we find ourselves stuck, in a bit of a pickle, in a spot where we can't get ourselves out of, it's an opportunity for us to learn a new way to get ourselves out so that we can gain additional knowledge, because we're never everything about everything. Times are changing, the world is changing, technology is changing, the things we have to pay for, and there's a thing called inflation. So we have to take that and say, hey, I'm gonna be a growing individual, and I can't grow without a problem to solve.
I like that. I'm just gonna say to people, choose to be an overcomer instead of a casualty. If you choose to excel, the casualty it'll automatically fade away. The next one is what I really, really like. It says cut. So that means stuff where you're gonna have to cut your cable bill. Do you have all the premium channels? Do you really watch all the premium channels? Do you really need 300 and some channels? You ain't got time to watch all them channels. I record a couple of shows. It may be something, you seen this? Nope. It'd be 2 weeks and I'd be looking at it. It ain't even news no more by the time I look at it, because I just don't have the time. Do you have to have the latest smartphone, the latest technology? Will your i3 or your i5 work the same way the i8 will? Do you need 4 cell phones? Do you need unlimited? Do you use coupons? Do you have a meal plan? Do you go into the grocery store 2 or 3 times out of the week? Or are you planning what you're going to cook? It's always on our refrigerator. So that way you don't have to keep going to the store wasting gas and time. Do you go to the restaurant often? Do you eat out 7 days a week? Is it okay to cook, or what they call them, noodles? I forgot, oodle noodles. I don't even know what they call them. Yeah. Can you have bacon and eggs for dinner? Cheese? Can you have a salad? Do you have to have a full 5-course meal every time you sit down? Everybody says they want to be grown, but when it's time to be grown comes a lot of responsibility. So people say, I can't wait to get grown, get out to my parents' house and do what I want to do. But you don't understand that when you do that, all these bills and everything goes right with you. So say you're going to budget, are you really budgeting? So what are some of the things that people could do to cut down on their everyday expenses? You got to have light, gas, you know, food, clothing, laundry detergent, you know, essentials. You know, maybe you shop at Target, maybe you can shop at Walmart, and maybe you can look for sales for toilet paper. I mean, I get the papers and I go through and see who got what and decide what 2 or 3 stores I'm going to hit, and if they all in the same area with my coupons. I used to cut the coupons out and then went to the store and didn't have a coupon, so we had to change that. But what are some of the things that you have done or tried that work for you on economizing your everyday residual or income? I know for me, I keep saying I'm going to cut my cable because our Comcast is just too expensive. I'm renting boxes and I'm like, this is crazy. So every time I call them to cancel, which has been going on for the last 4 months, they immediately take $75 off my bill. Isn't that ironic? And I'm saying, well, why just 75? Why not just take the whole amount of the bill away? They take, every time I call, I get the person's name and ID. They take $75 off my bill. She tells me to give her 24 hours. Yes. My goal is to get, what is it called? Fire stick? And be done. That's my goal. So I called on Friday. I was like, ma'am, she was like, ma'am, I see that you keep wanting to cut your bill. I said, yeah, well, y'all only want to give me $75 off a $200 bill. That's just not working for me. And I don't even have any people. I don't even have premium channels. I just got regular cable, but I have a bundle with the internet. What else do I have? Internet, my office phone, security system, and cable. And I don't have a premium channel. They will once a month give me 30 days of HBO or 30 days, but that ain't that. I mean, if I'm not watching it, it doesn't help me. So Sling is $19.99, and once you buy the Fire Stick and unlock it, you're done. So Friday, and they was like, well, why do you know, every month you say you're going to cancel? I said, yeah, the only reason I didn't because you give me $75 off. So I'm figuring I'm not paying $200, I'm paying $125. So I was like, well, you know, I'm not going to do it anymore. I say, I tried to work with you all. $75 is not cutting it. They took $119 off my bill on Friday.
Wow.
$119.
And that's per month?
No.
It's just one time?
Yeah. So I had to call back.
Okay.
In July. I've been doing this since February.
Wow.
And they keep taking, but they've only taken 75. This time they took 119. I said, 75 is just not cutting. And I say, so I need you to disconnect. I'm going to get the Sling and I'm going to order the Fire Stick from Amazon. She was like, hold on, let me talk to my supervisor. I said, I'm not taking $75. That's not going to work for me anymore. She said, just hold on. Just hold on, Ms. Redmond. Just hold on. She came out, she said, we're going to take 100. I don't know how they come to $119. I was like, done, do it. And I'm going to be calling them back the next month.
Wow.
Until I go ahead and order the Amazon. I need to just do that, but haven't did it. But 119. So cable has to go. A friend of mine's light bill has never hit $50. 4-bedroom house. When they leave the house and drop the kids off, if they're not at home and they're gonna be gone for 8 hours, they unplug everything. If it's on a, what do you call it, 3-prong, what do you call that thing?
Outlet.
The long one, the outlet with, like, you put 5 things on it or whatever, on a power strip. Mm-hmm. So whatever is on there, the only thing they keep going is the refrigerator. That room and it's on that strip, they turn it off. They're saying they're not there. And when I say turn it off here, they take it out the wall. Because they said if it's plugged in the wall and you're not using it, you're still being charged. That blew my mind. Because I said, how can your bill be this low? This is crazy. But that's what they do. The only thing they leave on is the refrigerator. And then when they come home, whatever room the kids are in, that's where everything plugged up. Whatever room they're in, if they're in the family room, she in the office, or they're in the bedroom, that's the room where everything is plugged up. When they go to bed, they only have what's plugged up, what they're using. So before they go to bed, whatever's hooked up to their power strip, they take it out the wall.
Wow.
They leave everything on the strip. They just take and their bill has never hit a 4-bedroom house.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So guess what I did? I went and bought some more power strips, and now that's what I do. So I'm waiting to get my first bill, but that's what I did. Because I need to see if that works. I'll be doing that for the rest of my life. So if I get rid of that and cable, I may be on to something. So I do try to eat more healthier now and not eat out as much as I used to. And I'm looking at the money that I'm saving, which is astronomical, just unbelievable. So we'll start with Bernard and work our way back down here. what are some of the things you have done to cut cost comes to your finances and, you know, your spending?
Well, the first thing I would say is your mindset, your mentality. I don't try and run with the Joneses. I'm not trying to be like everybody else. I don't need to have what everybody else has, right? And so that allows me then to just really live my life the way I want to live my life and not try to keep up with everybody else. The second thing is you got to watch, again, your spending. If you're not tracking, you don't know where to cut. Right. So it's critically important to write down everything. I'm working with a couple of clients as a coach, and I'm saying for the next 3 months, keep every receipt and track everything. Groceries, gas, whatever you're spending your money on, that's your outflow of cash. You got to track everything so that you can see where your money is going.
Even the gas?
Everything.
I never track the gas.
You have to track. That's your expense. You're spending money. So further to say, do you even know how much money you're spending on additional taxes? Our income, if you can make $100,000 and you're a 30% tax bracket, now you're down to 70, right? That's not your net, because you're still spending money. You're spending money on food. You're getting taxed on food, though, aren't you? You're spending money on gas, clothing, whatever you're spending your money on, there is an additional tax to that. You don't account for that in your budget. You don't even look at that. So how much more then on an annual basis are you paying in taxes that you've not even accounted for?
Look at the gas. I just figured you got to have that to go with from point A to point B and point B to, but I never saved the.
We're talking about monitoring.
I save receipts, but I never saved. When you said, I was like, gas.
You're monitoring every penny that goes out the door. You can see where your money's going. Then you're able to scale back. Then you can cut and say, oh, you know what? I spent $300 in groceries, but I ate out and I spent $150. Well, wait a minute. That's $450 a month.
It really ain't 300, it's $450. You're right. You're right.
But you don't see that. We don't see what we're doing. We're just spending. Most people are not in debt.
And I believe that. Now, I do believe that. Now, I did this year said I want to be debt free by the end of this year. So I'm almost there. But what I didn't do is just exactly what you said. I may spend $300 a month on food, but I may eat out $100, and I never included that in the budget. I really didn't, because I'm thinking it's just food. So not incidentals or, you know, eating out, but definitely not the gas. You got me on the gas. I gotta do that.
Watching everything. I'm still cutting back. I'm looking at everything and I'm still cutting back. Cable, cutting back.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't watch TV like that. I really don't. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Do I need to go to the cleaners every week?
Oh, but not.
Do I need to every week?
Well,
do I need my hair cut every week?
I don't know.
Right? Do I need just whatever that is?
Are you married or are you single?
Whatever that is.
Yeah. But like that'll determine all that want it. But you're right though. I used to get my hair done every 2 weeks. My hair done, but every 3 or 4 weeks. And I didn't need to get it done. And my hairstylist will tell me, you really don't need to come in, because you take care of your hair. You're not putting heat on your hair, so you take care of your hair. But I'm not like a stylist. I'd be like, okay, what happens if it rains and I get caught in? What am I gonna do? Are you gonna be available? I'm not a hair person at all. Like, got 5 rollers in heaven, don't want nothing to happen to them rollers. But I'm learning that I did need to get my hair done twice a month. That was a lot of money, and I didn't need to do that. So that was an expense. Same thing with your hair and your pedicures. I think we need to get it done, but how often?
Keep in mind though, what you said is this is only temporary. This is until you're able to get things in order. This is just temporary.
Because I would like to get my hair done every 2 weeks.
It's just temporary.
Get a massage twice a month. That's what I would like to do, but I know that's temporary. I know it's coming. It might be this yummy tummy water to give me there. Who knows? Khalil, what advice would you give to someone when it comes to scaling or cutting back on your monthly residual bills? Because you know they come in every month. You can't get around them.
Yeah, for the young people, I would say, you know, I just turned 21 last year, so I kind of look back at how much money I was spending last year with going out with my friends to bars and different clubs. And I'm like, paid too much money. This year I got bills to pay. I got a new car. So I'm just kind of been out on my own now. when I don't go to work, I'm just chilling out at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say kind of just stay to yourself. Because when you tend to go out more, that's when you tend to spend more money.
And if I stay in the house, I won't spend money. But as soon as I hit the street, I'm stopping to get this. I'm like, do I really need this? When I stayed in the house, I ain't spend a dime. Right. Man, my parents tease me now. I don't know if you all can relate. I just tease my parents, and I was like, y'all are so boring. Y'all don't go. We took 2 trips a year. No, we did the standard, but I was like, on the weekend, I'm like, y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all ain't doing nothing. My father said, I'm gonna rest. I work 12 hours a day. My mother told me, no, I'm not going anywhere. And they used to be excited. They would say, well, we got gas. They paid all their bills. They bought groceries. My mother's doing the laundry. My father would be sitting outside on the deck. Now, he did purchase 3 buildings. He always told all of us to purchase property, which nobody did. Now I'm doing it, but nobody did it. We had to listen. He kept telling us. And he even offered to help us get it, and we didn't listen. So now, a couple of weeks ago, I had my grandbaby. I had picked her up from my daughter's house. And so she said, Grandma, what are we going to do? I said, absolutely nothing. She said, we're not going to do nothing. I said, not today. I said, I done bought groceries, my car filled. I did the laundry yesterday. I got my hair done. I got my nails done. I'm like, we going home. We can have movie night. We ain't going nowhere. And she said, I love you, Grandma. She said, because I didn't want to go anywhere. She likes to stay at home. I bought her a laptop. She thinks if she have a laptop open like me, that she's making money. This laptop open when she come to my house. Grandma, you're not making no money today. She think if this is on and I'm in front of it, that I'm making money or I'm coming up with something. And so she wanted a laptop because she wanted to do what I do. Wow. I called my parents and I told them, I said, to ask me what was I doing, and I went through the scenario and they laughed. They said, we were just waiting because we knew that was coming. So now they said, what you gonna do this weekend? Nothing. I may go out every blue moon, but if ain't nobody buying me a white Zinfandel or a margarita, I'm like, I gotta come out of my pocket and pay for this? Like, wait a minute. Because it's expensive. It adds up. Where are we going? Is it free parking, or do we have to pay to park? All that stuff adds up. We've been spending money on birthday gifts, college graduations. You got to get them a car. You got to get them a gift. That adds up. So, Lakita, what would you say? Because you're a mother, so you have 2 kids. What are some of the things that you would suggest to individuals who are moms looking for something to cut back on your monthly income? What would you say for the bills that are coming in? Sometimes people have the money to pay the bills and they say they're struggling, but it's their spending, like Bernard said, because it's not how much you make, it's what you do with the money that you have.
The one thing that we've changed tremendously is we've become minimalists. And we have to declutter. So when I lived in Alabama, I had a bigger home. Now I live here. I have a teeny tiny box that I live in. And so I have to decide all the time what am I actually bringing into this home? So we have a new rule. If you want a new pair of shoes, you have to get rid of a pair of shoes. If you want a new item of clothing, you have to get rid of an item of clothing. And we do the same thing in terms of our cabinet, our pantry. So before I go shopping, we do an inventory of what's in the refrigerator, what's in the cabinet, and we need to cook some of this stuff before we go to the store. Because a lot of people waste their food. How many times do you go to the refrigerator and you're throwing things out? Throwing your money away because the food is in the refrigerator spoiling. Yeah. So before I go to the store, I'm like, hey, this may not sound good, but we're going to come up with some new recipes and we're just going to put this stuff together and make a name for it. We can call it goulash or, whatever it is. If it's and hopefully we can season it enough to make it edible.
I like that. I like the scenario of using, before you go to the grocery store, to use what's in there and then also do the inventory. Because sometimes I go and I buy it and I say, did I have it at home? And I don't know. So I buy it anyway. And I come home and I got 3 jars of spaghetti sauce or 4 boxes. I'm like, I don't even need all this stuff. But I put it back in the bag if it's something that can stay out. And when I go back to the store, I take it back because I'm like, I'm not gonna use all of this. But I also like the thing about the decluttering, because I know women, we like hoarders, but I've gotten out of it. When I moved into this house in October, I didn't take anything with me but my clothes. I refurnished everything, but I gave some things away. But I threw away so much stuff. And I like the idea where you say if you buy something. So if I buy a purse, they might gotta get rid of a purse.
Yeah,
I like that.
And there's a thing called consignment.
Because I just bought 2 new purses, but I also took 2 of my designer purses
to the consignment
store. Now I do that. I do that. And or I'll sow a seed and I'll give to somebody that I know that needs it.
And there's a consignment shop that's like a block away from my house. So if I want a purse or some shoes or something like that, I take it over there and I basically do a trade.
Yeah.
Do a trade. You can find some really good buys.
Yeah, you can.
And then I'm not spending any money out of my pocket to look different. Because when you're buying something, you want something that's brand new. You want something that looks good and that's new to you, so that you're not doing the same old
thing. Makes you feel good about yourself.
Right.
Yeah, something different.
And so, if you give up that edge of saying, okay, I'm okay with getting things that are not brand new, and I trade, and then I'm not bringing things into my house. That way I can see everything that's in there and determine what I need and what I don't need. I had like 10 different air fresheners. The plug-ins.
Oh,
every time I go to Walmart, I buy new plug-ins.
Yeah. I got them in a bag. I need to buy the refills, and I got a bag. Oh, really? Are you gonna plug this in every room of the house? And I'm like, I don't need to buy any more of these.
And they're $5.99. They're like $6 each
but
time
you still buy them though.
Every time you go into the Walmart or Target, you go down the aisle and you put them. Oh, I like this one. I like this. Yeah. And you have them at home.
I mean, I got enough to put them in my house and probably your house in the studio.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, I'm not gonna fill up all of those with the scents, because then you got to get the right one to go in. If they're, it's like crazy. Yeah, the stuff that we go through. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, declutter. If you buy a new pair of shoes, now some of y'all ain't gonna want to turn loose y'all shoes, but if you buy a new pair of shoes or dress or any type of clothing, then you donate it, whether you give somebody in need or whether you take it to a consignment shop. I like that idea. I would definitely do that. And before you go to the grocery store, make sure, do inventory and make sure that the stuff you're going to buy is not already in the pantry. Push back in the cabinets, push back. Get more money. That's our final one. Get more money. How can I increase my revenue monthly? You living from check to check and you want to generate an extra $300 to $1,000 a month. What would you recommend someone do? I already know y'all come up with for me, come up with something. To me, you need 7 streams of income to hit millionaire status. And we're going to actually do a show about it. I'm getting everything together on the method and what you need in the amount of items you need and the amount of items you need to sell and what it need to cost. So we're going to talk about that. That's not coming to next month, but we're working on that. And I think that's going to benefit me and anyone else that's listening or watching. So make sure you please share the broadcast. It came to you, Bernard, Khalil, Lakita, and said, I need to generate an extra $300 to $1,000 a month. A babysitter, what could I do? What could be my side hustle? What could I do?
With my cousin, he found out a way to make extra money by selling T-shirts. And we used to work together, but he got fired from the job. So he actually is making a lot of money now off selling his T-shirt because he became fully invested in it. And he's making more money than he did at the job than he is now.
Oh, I like that. Good. Very good idea. Selling T-shirts. Everybody has a brand. Anybody else?
Well, I wrote, so what do you have in your house? That's starting right there. There's some things you can sell that's in your house you need to get rid of. But invest in yourself. Invest in yourself so that you can create more, right? And so you have to do that as well. Take time to think so that you can create. There are people who will go to the lake, find rocks, and spend $1 on some glue and be very creative and make something that they can then turn around and sell. A friend bought me a pen. It was just a pen. It was a pen, but it had sand around it, and it had a shell on the end. and they were selling that pen for $5. Well, do you think it cost $5 to do that? Not at all. So what was their return on their investment for that?
Yeah.
Right?
$4.
So there are things that are around that doesn't really cost a whole lot of money, but you need to be creative. And a lot of times we find ourselves in such a state of despair that we don't give our time to think, to be able to create and take advantage of things that are really, from a minimal cost perspective, is easy to do.
It's water. Because I was determined. Okay, I like that. Take time to think, because your mind is always going. So if you take time to think about something that you really want to do and how it's going to generate revenue, and being in a negative state, then your mindset will never change from the negative state. So that I like that. Akita?
The first thing I think about is, are you willing to live like no one else so that you can live like no one else? Meaning sometimes you have to give up something that you think in order to get something better. And the example that I have for that is, if you own a home and, you have a nice size home, and this home for you represents you, sometimes you need to possibly downsize into a multi-family home, meaning that you live in one unit and you rent out the other unit. I thought about this like so many times here, especially in Chicago, and I did it when I was in Alabama, but you can afford to own a home, and then, it's so much better to own a 3-flat where everybody else is paying your rent. Yeah. So if you have your credit in such a way, then, think about that. It may not be the size that you want. It may not be in the neighborhood that you want at that point in time. But if you could make some changes like that or adjustments like that and have everybody else paying your rent, you're getting ahead. That's generating income. And not only are you generating monthly income, you're also generating an asset that you can sell later. Especially here, land is priceless. We move in and constantly move out. You have to have land.
Yep, location is key. You're right, though. You're right. I know, and I didn't understand when my dad kept telling us this up until we were like in our 20s. So he just got tired of saying it. I watched him. We grew up in a 2-flat. He moved out of there, and then he got a 3-flat. And then we moved out of there, and then they bought their first home. But then they had 6 incomes coming in. They grew up in. I didn't understand that until later in life, because they used the money, the equity from one of the buildings to secure their home. So now they have 2 buildings and a home that's paid for. But when parents are telling you stuff, older people are telling you things that they've experienced from a real estate point of view, it's in our advantage to listen and learn. And so that's why I work with my niece. I have no nephews, but I have 4 nieces and a granddaughter, all girls. So I'm teaching them, to find out what they really like to do for to live, but what is their passion? And so I'm always asking them, when you're doing this, how does it make you feel? They're working on musically and they're making videos, and they get so many videos, which my grandbaby is almost there, then the company will pay her. But she had already did her research. So they're making videos every day on their site, and people are liking their sites just for kids. And they're doing these dances and these little rhymes and all that. So my granddaughter told me, she said, I want to do one about money because nobody is doing that as a kid. So their mind is always going. If I do a job fair or a health fair, she says, you're going to have goodie bags? And I say, yeah. Well, I'll make them for you, but at a price. So she's watching, and I saw her one day in my office at home, and she was mimicking me. No, she's not. But kids watch everything you do, and it just blew my mind that they watch and they pick up. They may be learning from the outside, but they're with you the most, and that's where they're learning their information from. So we have to be careful as role models and as parents. And what I want to say to people, if you're If you need to make $300, then cut $300 out of your house. For me, cable bill will be the first thing to go. If you have to decide on what, if you need to make $1,000, if you're paying cable and you only need basic, which is $19.95, then there's $175 right there. You have to, or what can you do? Could you do coaching? Could you do, could you make, could you become, there's so many, my mind is just going, but there's so many things you could do right in your home. You can be a blogger if there's something that you really like to talk about, and whether it's celebrities, what they're doing every minute, every second. Entrepreneurship, how to get out of debt. If you were in debt for $500,000 and you did it in 3 years and you got out, that's a testimony, and you can walk people through it. So there are so many things you could do to generate revenue. Take the advice that Bernard gave. Just sit back and think. Sometimes you just get pen and paper and just sit back and just think. Also rewarding to just relax the mind and the body and let it come. And then surround yourself with positive people. Networking, they have so many networking events on meetup.com that you can go to for free to get whatever you're doing out to the masses. We have social media. We have so much right now that's free at your house. You can go to the library. You can go to Dunkin' Donuts, find out places who have internet access and take your laptop or your phone or your tab. There's so many. So when people come to me with excuses and they're in 100% health, you can't bring me any excuses, because I can be in pain and still be out, because there's something I love to do, with is helping people. So when there's nothing wrong with you and you're making excuses, get over it, because it ain't working for me. You can't even bring me an excuse, because I can bring you a solution right away. So these are some of the things that you can do as a whole. And hopefully the information that we share for you is very positive. It's very uplifting. You ain't got to go to school to learn it. It's very simple things that you could do for yourself, and share the broadcast. We'll take a pause for the cause and ask them, for each person, think of 2 things you need to ask yourself before you decide to start a business. You're tuned in to IntellectualRadio.com, Making Waves with Ms. Darci. We'll be back in a moment. Good information, y'all.
American Express for travel and entertainment worldwide.
Just show them this, the American Express card.
Don't leave home without it.
And someday, I may even use it on the moon. It's a marvelous thing.
Oh! So you can replace plane tickets, traveler's checks, a lost art.
Really? That worked?
American Express's timeless safety and security are available on Apple Pay. The next evolution of membership is here.
Bill collectors calling you. Are you afraid to answer the phone? Afraid of lawsuits, garnishments, losing your apartment, house, or car? Then call us for your debt relief options. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Chapter 7 or 13 can relieve the debt pressure. Call us now for a free phone mini consultation, or log on to infotapes.com. We're the law firm you trust to get you out of debt.
1-800-401-4010.
Good for you.
A medium hot coffee, cream and 2 sugars, please.
Medium hot coffee, cream, 2 sugars. Sounds good.
At Dunkin', we make your coffee just the way you like it. If not, we'll make it again on the spot. That's the DD commitment. America runs on Dunkin'.
Touch on this right quick. We are out of time, but I do want to just touch on 2 questions that an individual needs to ask themselves before they start a business. So we'll start with Bernard and we'll work our way back down. So if someone came to you, they want to start a business, what 2 questions would you say they should ask themselves before they leap into starting a business?
Number 1, does it solve a problem? Number 2, is it scalable? Can you expand and across the globe?
Khalil?
Is it something that you want to be fully invested to? The time to really to commit yourself to do this thing?
21. I have to say that.
I learned so much from Khalil. I'm telling you, he ain't going nowhere. He gonna try to leave. I'm saying, nope, you can't go nowhere. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I hate coming behind Khalil, because I'm like, okay, he's taking my answers. So I'm gonna say what Darci said earlier. Faith without works is dead. So do you have faith, and are you ready to work?
I would say, are you passionate about whatever venture you're going to go into? Because you're going to be doing it more than a regular 40-hour week. So it has to be something that you literally love to do. Everything that I'm doing in my streams of income, I literally love what I do for a living 24/7. I walk it, I talk it. I went to get my car wash. Super Producer, gave me a free car wash. I was in the car wash at Buddy Bear. Now they're my new sponsor. I was in the back room where they had to buzz you in. I'm telling my grandbaby said, "Oh, grandma, don't start telling them about your radio show." Sure, I know if I did. We parked our car. They drove it around and cleaned it. We was in the back room. So I'm telling you, I eat it. I go to the grocery store. I'm handing out a card, a business card, something. I'm talking about one of my businesses. And that's what, it has to be something that you love. It can't be something just to generate revenue. And then you say, oh, I really don't want to do this. It's like a job. You have to enjoy it, because an entrepreneur, everybody is not cut out for. Entrepreneur is a whole different beast. You have to literally enjoy what you do. We know everybody has to make a living. You got to do a 9 to 5. I get that. But everybody has, whether it's a passion, greatness, a skill that you need to let everybody know, and people will pay you. So on that note, I just want to whet your appetite with the what questions you should ask for starting a business. So we'll go into a deeper your air, and we'll also talk about things you can do when you walk in a room at a networking event, conversation starters that can capture and make that person never forget who you are when they leave that networking event. So we'll talk about that. I want to thank Lakita. Again, welcome to Illinois. Thank you for being here. Khalil, I love him. I can't work without Khalil. Y'all already know I couldn't do my phone. I couldn't do anything. Khalil was out and I was like panicking. Bernard, of course, was here 2 weeks ago. He's back. He always is a wealth of knowledge, and he makes you think. Probably 2 or 3 months ago, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So he's a wealth, and he came here on the spot, and I appreciate him being here today. So in closing, build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs, and that would be me, and we out. Share the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in.